This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I'm your host, Matt Takimoto, and episode 280 will feature the Benchwarmer team of Scott and Matt versus the team of Benchwarmer Marcus and newcomer to the bench, Jared Watson. Jared, thanks so much for joining us, and we're happy to have you. Why don't you take a moment to tell us a little bit about yourself and what teams you root for and, you know, any trivia triumphs you might have had on national television, anything like that?
I guess I'm best known. I was a three-time Jeopardy champion, and I was a semifinalist in the most recent Tournament of Champions. My rooting interests are all Dallas teams, Cowboys, Rangers, Mavericks, Stars to a certain extent. So yeah, that's my whole deal.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you, and you're teaming up with Marcus for this episode. Marcus, how are you, and what is your team name?
I'm doing well. Tomorrow we are voting on a new contract proposal, so I may be back to work. I don't know yet, but you know, I've maintained my sanity barely over this 36 days that it's been. But since Jared told me about his teams and he mentioned the Rangers, they went from first to worst this year in the AL West, and the Mariners are terrible as always. And so tonight our team name will be AL Worst.
All right. And Scott and Matt, how are you, and what is your team name?
I'm good. I was about to go on this rant when Jared said he's a Dallas sports fan. It's like, that's the last thing we need more of, right? Is like someone who's going to just complain about the Cowboys like the Erics do, right? Someone who's just going to talk about the Rangers like Walling does. Someone who's going to be like, oh, the Dallas Stars used to be in Minnesota like the Minnesota guys do. I don't need any more of this, right? And then I'm thinking, like, I was about to go on this rant because I was like, who is vetting these people that we get on the podcast? Why is this happening where these people slip through the cracks? Who is dropping the ball? And then I realized it's me. So yeah, rant not happening because I'd have to blame myself. And of course I'm not mature enough or man enough to do that. So Matt, how are you?
I'm okay. I was going to go on a rant about at least of all the Dallas teams. Jared said, like, well, kind of barely the Stars, you know, so I was happy about that, you know, so you got a little bit of credit back, but anyway, no, I'm good. It's Marcus, you've been dealing with for 39 days. I've been dealing with it since the beginning of June. I've been unemployed since then. I tell you what, man, I apply for like probably 25 or 30 jobs a day and not barely getting any interviews. It's just ridiculous out there. So anyway, so yeah, but the one little couple of pieces of little joy that I've had in my life is the other day on an episode that just dropped yesterday or today as we're recording this, the 22nd of October. That one when we recorded about a month ago or so, we talked lovingly about the noises that Marcus makes on the episode. So what I did was I took his audio line individually and I pulled every single bit of his audio line that was a fun little noise that he made, and I made just like a third. It took me like 45 or half an hour or so to do the whole thing, and all I got was 30 seconds. But I tell you what, it was 30 seconds of joy, and I sent it over to all the Benchwarmers of just Mark going, yee! So our team name today is going to be We Love Marcus's Sounds.
All right. We've got AL Worst versus We Love Marcus's Sounds. Maybe we'll have to, like, you know, $50 a month on Patreon and you can hear the Marcus Sounds supercut. We'll just really sell them out here. That's the slippery slope.
$50 a month for a few months. I'll go ahead and
yeah.
I'll chop up every episode that he's on and do that like an hour just to Marcus going, yeah.
That's the first bit on the Benchwarmers OnlyFans. It's just
there
Marcus
you go.
Yeah. All right, we've got our teams. Let's kick it over to Benchwarmer Emeritus Dan for the rules.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
All right, thank you, Dan. Today's first quarter will be pre- and post-game.
Pre- and post-game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I said, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, the answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
Question number 1 in pre- and post-game. He signed the richest contract in NFL history by average annual value, a 4-year, $240 million extension, and he has been hosting his own eponymous version of SportsCenter since 2015.
We are checked in.
We Love Marcus's Sounds has checked in. AL Worst, talk it out.
Okay, so Jared, do you agree with me on the back half of this? It sounds like it has to be Scott Van Pelt.
That makes the most sense to me. Yeah. Okay. Duh. All right. So
wow.
Dak Prescott
Yes.
Pelt. Yeah.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. I like how we were avoiding the big old flashing sign. All right, you get to check that in?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll check in with Dak Prescott Van Pelt.
And We Love Marcus's Sounds, what did you have?
Yeah, I originally said Jordan Love, and then I read, oh no, Dak had slightly more or something like that, maybe like 10 cents more or something, whatever it was. And so then as soon as I said Dak, Scott, and then Scott came back with Scott Van Pelt. So yeah, Dak Prescott Van Pelt.
Both teams getting points. It is Dak Prescott Van Pelt. My flavor text on this is Dak Prescott is rich and Scott Van Pelt is bald. That's really all I got.
I think that's about all of Dak Scott right now too.
If you don't have anything funny to say, a fact is always good. So there
That's
you go.
right.
Right.
That's right. Question 2 in pre and post game. She's the first ever WNBA MVP, and he's the second ever Eastern Washington alumnus to make a Pro Bowl.
I got this, man.
Sounds good.
We're checked in.
Okay. We Love Marcus's Sounds has checked in. AL Worst, talk it out.
I'm in Washington State, so Eastern is very familiar to me.
Nice.
And so I'm pretty sure the second half of this is Cooper Kupp, which
okay.
I think makes the first half. I think this is Cynthia Cooper.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. We'll check in with Cynthia Cooper Kupp.
And We Love Marcus's Sounds.
Yeah, same answer. I mean, Houston Comets were so cool. I don't want to get into that whole thing again about how somehow you can be that successful and then be gone within a few years. But yes, we also checked in with Cynthia Cooper Kupp.
Both teams getting points. It is Cynthia Cooper Kupp. Cynthia Cooper won the first 2 WNBA MVPs, in fact. And the first ever Eastern Washington alum to make a Pro Bowl was former Titans left tackle Michael Roos, who made All-Pro and a Pro Bowl in 2008.
There's a name I haven't heard since 2008.
See, that was actual flavor text. Scott Van Pelt being bald is not actual flavor text. All right. Question 3 in pre and post game. It's the play that won Boise State the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, and it's the player who ranks 4th all-time in home runs as a Yankees first baseman.
Checked in.
Okay, We Love Marcus's Sounds has checked in, so AL Worst, you can talk it out again.
Okay. You familiar with the Fiesta Bowl, Boise State?
Vaguely. I don't know enough about like big name plays.
So what they won on, it was a 2-point conversion that they ran, and it was the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
So it was a version of it anyways. But
okay.
Yeah, so Liberty.
So I mean the first player that came to my mind for Yankees first baseman was Mark Teixeira. I don't know if that fits the name of a play.
How confident are you that he's at that spot?
Not particularly, because there's been lots of Yankees first basemen.
Yes, there have. Let's see.
I mean, it's not Gehrig. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be like Don Mattingly or anything like that.
Right. See, and now it's just making me question if I'm even right on the first half, because we could just be going down the wrong path here.
Yeah. Well, Liberty doesn't feel like it would lend itself to being a name.
Right. Oh gosh. T something? Could it be T? Oh, I know.
Okay.
Got all the way to T, and this is on brand, so I will say that makes me think of Seattle Mariners legend Tino Martinez.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so we'll check in with Statue of Libertino Martinez.
And we love Marcus's noises.
Yeah, this made tons of sense from the start. The Statue of Liberty, Ian Johnson, all that good stuff. And then I think this is the first time his name's been used in a pre and post game since I did Matt Doratino Martinez years ago when we checked with Statue of Libertino Martinez.
Both teams getting points. It is Statue of Libertino Martinez. And Jared, you named all three first basemen ahead of Tino on the list. Lou Gehrig is first, Don Mattingly second, Mark Teixeira is third.
Okay.
You don't get any bonus points, but I'm very impressed. All right. The final question in the first quarter. Question number 4. He's the wide receiver most recently inducted into the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor, getting the honor in 2011. And it's the longest running postseason college football game that isn't a New Year's Six game.
Taco, we are checking in.
We Love Marcus's Sounds has checked in. AL Worst, you may talk it out.
Okay, so I think we were on the same page that the postseason college football game would be Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, it's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah. And so it's trying to make that fit.
Oh, because I was like, okay, so they had Irvin and like Alvin Harper in the 90s, but I don't know that.
But I feel like the triplets all went in together.
Right. I didn't think it was Irvin, but I'm just trying to think of, I mean, I'd imagine Drew Pearson would have been in but way before that.
Yeah. Just like is there somebody named like Alcott or Walcott or something?
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Yeah.
Is the Cotton Bowl? Wait, okay. So the New Year's Six, Rose Bowl. Now I'm trying to think if the Cotton
on
Bowl,
the right track with Cotton Bowl.
Right. For some reason, I feel like the Cotton Bowl might be on New Year's Day.
Could be. Yeah.
Hmm.
So is there something that might end with Irvin that fits if he was the last one to go in?
Right.
Vin in.
I'm just thinking of obscure bowls now. I'm like the Michael Irvinsite.com bowl. That's definitely not it. But oh gosh, this is gonna make me insane. There's so many bowl games and
I think we're approaching need an answer time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
All right. For the sake of a funny answer, we will check in with Michael Irvinsite.com bowl.
And We Love Marcus's Sounds. What did you check in with?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who would have gone in based on the time frame. Like, Harper. Like we had the same conversation. Obviously, Des was playing. Terry Glenn didn't get in. Like, because you're thinking this is probably someone from the '90s, just based on the fact that it's 2011. And if you go in the early 2000s, like, there's no one that makes sense. Just trying to throw out a Hail Mary. We said Michael Irvin Independence Bowl because it fit.
But after we checked in, I realized it could have been Drew Pearson and the Sun Bowl. So I think that's the right answer.
Okay, so no points are awarded. And yes, Matt, you are correct. The correct answer is Drew Pearson Bowl. Yeah, it feels a little weird that Drew Pearson went in 2011, but he is the most recent wide receiver inductee. There are only 3 wide receivers in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor: Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, and Bullet Bob Hayes.
Yep.
And then the Sun Bowl is tied with the Orange Bowl and the Sugar Bowl as the second oldest bowl game, behind only the Rose Bowl. All 3 debuted on January 1st, 1935.
Wow.
So, yeah. Rose Bowl is the granddaddy of them all, and the Sun Bowl is the weird El Paso uncle of them all. After the first quarter, we are all tied up 75-75.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
And that brings us to the second quarter, which will be Sporting Haiku.
Sporting Haikus. For this quarter, there will be 4 questions in haiku form. Each question is worth 25 points.
Question number 1 in Sporting Haiku. This guy's a cheater. Won 100 meters in Seoul, but took all the roids.
We can check in.
All right. We Love Marcus's Sounds is checked in. AL Worst, talk it out.
So is this Ben Johnson?
I think it has to be. He's the poster child.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. We are checking in with Ben Johnson.
And We Love Marcus's Sounds.
Yeah, same thing, Ben Johnson.
Both teams getting points. It is Ben Johnson, the 88 meter final. Some of my favorite content ever, because I think all but 2 of the competitors in that 88 meter final were suspended for steroids at some point in their careers. Just everybody cheating with everybody, which does that make the race fair? I don't know. That's not for me to decide ethically. Question number 2 in Sporting Haiku. This guy's a cheater. Won the 06 Tour de France, but took all the roids. We can say hi to Mark here because there's a cycling question.
But you got to say it like Tommy Wiseau. Hi, Mark. We're going to check in.
All right. AL Worst is checked in for the first time in this episode. We Love Marcus's Sounds gets to talk it out.
Okay. This is good. All right. So we kind of figured it wasn't Lance because that was a little too obvious. So I said to Scott, isn't this that Landis? And he said, Floyd Landis. He said, not Michael Landis from Highway to Heaven. And he said, oh, wait, no, that's Michael Landon. We just went on the road. Stupid.
I think Michael Landis directed Thriller.
Was it Michael
That's
Landis?
Michael
That's
John
That's
Landis.
John Landis.
Damn it!
Now
Who
we're
is
just
Michael
gonna go
Landis?
all over the place.
There is no Michael Landis.
I don't know who
Michael.
Michael Landis is.
He's
There is
probably
now.
like some accountant in Sheboygan or something.
Yeah.
Michael Landis.
All right, I gotta Google Michael Landis. Yeah. Okay,
All
yeah.
that to
So,
say,
but
right?
all that to say that we think the answer is Floyd Landis.
And AL Worst, what did you come up with?
We also thought it might have been too late for Lance Armstrong, but I couldn't come up with the last name. I knew it was Floyd something, and then as soon as you said Floyd Landis, I was like, damn it, that's the name. So we checked in with Lance Armstrong.
One team getting points. It is Floyd Landis, who maybe was the worst cheater in a sport filled with cheaters. I think he went from like barely being able to ride a bike to winning some sort of time trial in the next stage by, some ungodly margin. Like he wasn't even being sly about the whole thing. He was just like, just shoot me up with something so I can get back on this bike. It was pretty bad. I think he got caught like 6 days after the tour, as opposed to Lance Armstrong, who took a decade. All right. Question 3 in Sporting Haiku. This guy's a cheater.
Shocking.
Vikings running back caught with a Whizzinator.
We can check in.
All right. We Love Marcus's Sounds is checked in. AL Worst, talk it out.
Do you remember this, Jared?
feel like I should.
Not to be confused with the Vikings Love Boat incident, but it was right around that same time.
Yeah. So what was it, like Chester Taylor or something? I don't remember.
It was before or right around Chester Taylor. But he's I don't even like saying it out loud. He's an Oregon Duck legend. But we're gonna go ahead and check in with Ontario Smith.
And we love Marcus's sounds. What did you say?
He is the self-proclaimed sod, the steal of the draft, Ontario Smith. Yes. And my mother, who is a chemical dependency counselor, knows nothing about anything about football, but she knows Ontario Smith and all about the Whizzinator. Oh, yeah. She told me all about that. I'm like, okay.
See, sports really do bring families together.
Right. Exactly.
Both teams getting points. This is, thank you, Marcus, for saying it, Oregon Ducks legend, Ontario Smith.
He had a pretty decent career in the CFL after that, didn't he?
He was a good player. He just, did that.
All right. Final question of Sporting Haiku. This guy's a cheater. His rec specs were clean, but his bat was super corked.
We're going to check in.
We love Marcus's sounds is checked in. AL worst. Talk it out.
Well, we're sitting here debating what qualifies as rec specs.
Yeah.
Because like when I think of rec specs, I think of like big old goggles. Horace Grant
goggles.
Horace Grant-esque goggles is what I think of rec specs. So and obviously you and I were on the same page as far as, well, it's not Sosa. That's the biggest corked bat incident that I remember.
Yeah. Who was known for wearing the
big old goggles?
Yeah. I'm just trying to comb through my mind's eye, just see if I can snatch a baseball card photo or something that
Right. Now I'm just doing the thing where I'm like putting rec specs on certain people and being like, does that make sense? Does it?
Does that look right?
Like for some reason I just thought of like Mark Whitten with big old rec specs. Sosa is the one that I associate with the corked bat, but I can't think of anybody else, let alone somebody with rec specs. Yeah. The rec specs is like, honestly, I would have just gone with Sosa, but the rec specs is the only thing I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah, I don't.
You have anything?
Eric Dickerson. No,
For lack of a better answer, we're gonna say we're gonna check in with young Sammy Sosa that wore rec specs.
Yeah.
And we love Marcus's sounds. What did you say?
I had this guy's baseball card as a kid. Loved him. I thought he was awesome. I'm pretty sure this is Cincinnati Reds third baseman, Chris Sabo.
Well, one team is getting points. Correct answer is 1988 NL Rookie of the Year and three-time All-Star Chris Sabo. He was suspended 7 games in 1996 when he shattered a bat in a game that was filled with cork. He maintains he never corked a bat in his life. People kind of believe him that he just grabbed a teammate's bat, but also isn't snitching on his teammate for having a corked bat. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, just, taking one for the team in his last season in the major leagues. When I said rec specs, I meant rec specs.
Oh yeah. He had like amazing glasses.
So he's wearing those are full on safety glasses is what those are.
Right. They're huge.
Yeah, he's doing woodwork in the dugout after.
Yeah. That's how he corked his bat. He did it himself.
Yeah, he did it himself.
He's a carpenter.
Yeah, this old bat.
All right. After the second quarter, we have a lead. We Love Marcus's Sounds has 175, AL Worst just behind at 125. That brings us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
And for halftime, we are going to do another edition of Teams in a Song, where we mash up a song with a team. How it's going to work is I'm going to give you some facts about a song, and I'm also going to give you several players that have had their numbers retired by a certain franchise, and you have to kind of mash them up. As an example, here's one from the last time I did this. From 1983, this song performed by Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and featured Dennis Potvin, Brian Trottier, and Mike Bossy, who relied on each other while winning 4 straight championships. And the answer would be Islanders in the Stream.
All right. So, Taco, when you're editing this halftime later on down the road, make sure we pay attention for awesome Marcus sounds. So,
yeah,
let's go.
I feel like he's been a little self-conscious about it and is holding back.
He has. I know he's holding back.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
That's why he made that. That's why we made
Let
that
it
weird
go.
face, because we can't make a supercut of weird faces because we're not recording video. All right. Question 1 of halftime. Joan Jett, the Blackhearts, Calvin Murphy, Elvin Hayes, and Rudy Tomjanovich took this song to number 3 on the Billboard charts in 1982.
We're going to check in.
AL Worst has checked in. We love Marcus's sounds. Talk it out.
Okay, well, good. Now I don't have to type this to you. I'm not a big Joan Jett guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not really
What?
my area of expertise. I know. So shocking, right? The team is the Rockets,
Yeah.
clearly.
Well, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts did have a song called "Shooting into Space," so that would make sense. But isn't it? Aren't we looking for like the actual?
Right. Doesn't
Word?
Rocket have to be in the right? Because Islanders in the Stream like that. Shooting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused. What is it called? Shooting into Space?
Yeah.
See, I thought it would be I Love Rockets and Roll, but sure. Yeah. Like I don't.
Oh, okay. So we're not looking for something that has rockets. We're looking for something that has rock. Okay. So I love rockets and roll.
and Roll.
Yeah.
I Love
okay.
Rockets and Roll.
Yeah.
And AL Worst, what did you have?
Took about 5 seconds to say I love rockets and roll and move on with life.
Well, both teams are getting points. Thank goodness we circled back around to that. I was worried there for a second. Correct answer is I love rockets and roll. Don't overthink these guys.
No, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I've always thought of that as a late 70s hit.
It was a song by the Arrows, I think in 1975, but then Joan Jett and the Blackhearts covered it and it hit the charts in 82. Okay, question number 2 of halftime. This song hit the Billboard charts 3 different times, most famously in 1959 by Bobby Darin, Kenny Easley, Walter Jones, and Cortez Kennedy.
We're going to check in.
AL Worst has checked in. We love Marcus's sounds. Talk it out.
The Bobby Darin song that I know is "Mac the Night" and doesn't have
That's
anything
the only
to do
Bobby
with-
Darin song that I can name
Yeah.
also.
Trying to think of any other Bobby Darin songs I can think of.
I know who he is. My mom listens to
So we're
him.
thinking it's got to be Seahawks, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
something Seahawks. So there was a song back then. I have no idea if it was Bobby Darin, but there was a song called "Beyond the Sea."
I'll take your word for it. You were the one that was alive during the time, not me.
Ha,
So
ha, ha. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. The other day, someone was asking me about some sort of something I have to do with my medical record, so I went and looked at this little app that has all my, stuff, and then in some notes that somebody had taken, that wrote that I was a 58-year-old male. I'm like, I'm not 58. Come on, what the hell? Just add 10 years on there. Thanks.
maybe you are. Maybe it's like one of
Jeez,
those
I am an old man, I
Dominican
know.
baseball players who just
There you
it's
go.
the-
It's
Exactly.
a Danny Almonte
Yes.
situation happening.
yeah. Like, people said Albert Pujols was like 37 years old in 2002.
Might as well, yeah. We're gonna go with Beyond the Seahawks.
Okay. And AL Worst, what did you have?
You keep sounding like you're going to drive the ship into like the cliff and then pull it back in to get it right. So yeah, we also had Beyond the Seahawks.
Both teams getting points. It is
Nice.
Beyond the Seahawks.
Straightforward.
Very
Hey,
nice.
hey, Matt,
Yeah.
the most disrespectful thing that's ever happened to me is when I bought my house and on all the loan information stuff, in big bold letters it says buyer Marcus Ellis, an unmarried person, and I was like, damn, dog. I was like, ruthless. Why do you have to say that? That
Thank
was
you.
unnecessary.
They didn't have to say that. That was a
No, they
choice.
didn't. I was like, damn, wow.
That was a personal
Unmarried.
attack against you.
Yeah.
All right, final question of halftime. This 2004 song by Crime Mob featuring Lil Scrappy, Marcus Nasland, Pavel Bure, and the Sedin brothers peaked at number 76 on the Billboard Hot 100, but was number 7 on Complex Magazine's ranking of the 25 songs that make us want to punch someone in the face.
Oh my God. We're going to check in.
Oh, geez.
A.O. Worst has checked in and is losing it. We love Marcus's sounds. Talk it out.
As you probably missed it, Scott, but before he posted the question, I wrote the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay.
So,
Wait.
so
What
can
is
can
this?
something having to do with can?
Is this Canuck if you buck?
I've never heard that before, so you're giggling a lot here. I have
We're
no
gonna
idea.
check. We're gonna check that in. We're checking in with Canuck if you buck.
And A.O. Worst, what did you have?
Oh my gosh. Jared was like, Canucks? And I was already laughing because once he said Crime Mob, Lil Scrappy, I was like, Nuck if you buck. And then Jared comes through with Canucks question mark. And I was like, oh my God, I lost it. Yeah, this is absolutely a pregame gem. You're going to want to fight somebody if you hear this song. So yeah, we also checked in with Canuck if you buck.
Both teams are getting points. This is Canuck if you buck. And the number 1 song on the Complex list of 25 songs that make us want to punch someone in the face. Any guesses?
Move by Ludacris.
Oh, that's a good
Good
one.
guess, but incorrect.
Up in here, maybe?
That's a good.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a good
DMX.
guess, but incorrect.
Something by 3-6. Anything
Bull-
by 3-6 Mafia.
Bulls on Parade.
Another good one, but no.
Oh.
Number 1 on the song on the Complex list is Annie Up by M.O.P.
Mm.
Oh,
Which
Yeah,
is the correct answer. Let's
Yeah,
be fair.
that's-
That is the
yeah,
correct
that's-
answer. All right. After halftime, the scores have changed, but the deficit stays the same. We Love Marcus's sounds at 250, A.L. Worst at 200. That brings us to the third quarter. Comeback time. It's Lucky 7.
Lucky 7. For this quarter, there will be 3 lists containing 7 items. The team that is trailing coming into the quarter will choose the first list and attempt to identify the items on this list one at a time. If the team has an incorrect guess, the other team can attempt to finish that list out. The team leading at the beginning of the quarter will select the second list, and whichever team is trailing after the first 2 lists will get the third list. Each item is worth 10 points.
For this Lucky 7, for which A.L. Worst will be getting the first list from these 3 choices. The top 7 career scorers for the Dallas Mavericks. The top 7 NFL franchises with the most all-time playoff wins. There is a 3-way tie for 7th, so I will take one of those teams and only one. And the 7 oldest active Major League Baseball players in 2024. So A.L. Worst, let me know what list you want to start with whenever you're ready.
Okay, can we have a clarifying question here?
Yes.
Are these players that are still active as of now, or were
This
active
is-
at some point in 2024?
For the Major League Baseball players list.
Yes.
These are players that were active in 2024.
Okay.
They are, as of now in the World Series, not still currently active, but they did play in 2024.
Taco, we're going to go with the Dallas Mavericks all-time leading scorers, please.
All right. A.L. Worst is going to take the top 7 career scorers for the Dallas Mavericks.
All right, Matt, I think we're ready to check in.
Okay, A.L. Worst, go ahead and roll them out one by one.
Jared, this is mostly your list, so you go for it.
Okay, so we will go easiest first and start with Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki is number 1 on the list, 31,560 points.
Okay, and next we will go with Rolando Blackman.
Rolando Blackman, number 2 on the list, 16,643.
Right, and then we will go with Derek Harper.
Derek Harper is number 4 on the list, 12,597.
Then we will go with the Jet, Jason Terry.
Jason Terry is number 7 on the list, 9,953 points.
And then we will go with Michael Finley.
Michael Finley is number 5 on the list, 12,389.
We will go Mark Aguirre.
Mark Aguirre is number 3 on the list, 13,930.
And here's where we have a problem. All right, we'll just say we're gonna guess that Luka Doncic has made it to the list already.
Luka Doncic is number 6 on the list, 11,470 points. You have run the list and got all 7. Very nicely done. All right. That means We Love Marcus's Sounds is up. Would you like the 7 NFL franchises with the most all-time playoff wins or the 7 oldest Major League Baseball players who were active in 2024?
So we're going to go with the NFL playoff victories all time.
All right. Take a little bit of time to think about it and then check in when you're ready.
All right. We're going to check in.
Okay. We Love Marcus's Sounds is checking in with their attempt at the 7 NFL franchises with the most all-time playoff wins. So give them to me.
And I'm just, this is what I wrote them down. I don't think they're in the right order, but who cares? I wrote down Packers.
Well, of course, you have to say them first.
The Green Bay Packers are tied for second with 37 playoff wins.
Patriots.
The Patriots are tied for second with 37 playoff wins.
49ers.
The 49ers are in first with 38 playoff wins.
The Steelers.
The Steelers are tied for fourth with 36 wins.
And Cowboys.
The Cowboys are tied for fourth with 36 wins.
All right. Now is when we get a little tricky.
Yeah,
So,
we knew that would happen. So
yeah. Okay, so we have 4 teams for the last 3 spots here. So I think the one I'm the most.
Here's my order.
You take one, then I'll take the next one.
That's my order of confidence, but
Oh no, I wouldn't put that one in the first.
I know. That's why I'm saying that's what my order is. What's your order of confidence?
I would put. Well, you know what I meant.
Okay. Yeah, do it.
Okay. The New York Football Giants.
The New York Football Giants are tied for 7th with 25 wins. So that's your one tied for 7th. So I will need the team in 6th place.
Yeah, I bet they're tied with 2 of these other 3, Matt.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Just pick one of them from our remaining 3 and stop making attempted Marcus noises.
Okay. Just because they've been around for the longest of all those other teams that we have on the list, let's just say the Rams.
The Rams are in 6th place with 26 wins.
Great pick, man.
That is 7-4-7. The other 2 teams tied for 7th are the Raiders and the Eagles. Were those the other 2 teams on your list?
I didn't have that on
Yeah,
my list.
we had Raiders and Colts.
Okay. The Colts only have 23 wins. They're a little further down the list.
Where are the
Other
Vikings
teams,
on the list?
other teams in the ballpark.
Not
The
high.
Chiefs have 24 wins. The Broncos, Commanders, and Colts have 23 each. The Vikings have 21, and the Dolphins have 20. Those are all the teams with 20 or more
Sure.
playoff wins. And in last place is the Houston Texans with 5. That means with that 70-70 that We Love Marcus's Sounds is back in the lead. So AL Worst, you get the first crack at the 7 oldest Major League Baseball players who were active in 2024. Give them to me when you're ready.
We are going to check in.
All right. AL Worst is checking in with their attempt at the 7 oldest Major League Baseball players active in 2024. Give them to me one at a time.
We're going to say Justin Verlander.
Justin Verlander is correct. He was the second oldest player active in 2024.
Then we're gonna go with Joey Votto.
Joey Votto is not on the list.
Whoa. Hold on a second.
Whoa.
I'm going to defend them on this one
Okay.
because they made such a big stink last year about Joey Votto saying he is not retired. The whole year he was all talking about, I'm not retired. I'm still going to play. So he was active last year. He did not officially retire.
He did not, but he did not appear in a regular season game in 2024.
Wait, was it an actual part of your question?
I mean, that's what
That's
active.
what active
That's what
means, yeah.
active in 2024 means to me. Not
That's that's why I asked you that, Matt. When I said to you, when you put him on the list, I said, did he play this past season?
Does on a roster count?
I mean, I'm happy to.
I'm pretty sure Joey Votto was signed to the Blue Jays.
He was signed to the Blue Jays. He never appeared in a game for the Blue Jays.
I don't know, man. I think we got to give him a mulligan on this one.
That's fine with me. I don't mind it. So,
That's
but
my opinion.
just to be,
Scott, do you disagree? But I think this is a whatever.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, this is tough.
But I am going on appeared in a game in 2024 means they were active.
I say we give them a mulligan on that one, just because that's a trap answer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I would agree too. I mean, he was.
Okay.
Yeah,
that is fine with me. I have zero problem with that.
Marcus, you have to love me forever.
I mean, I would have been good either way. I mean,
Yeah.
like it is what it is. If you guys want to let us keep going, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, give me your next one.
Justin Turner.
Justin Turner is correct. He was the seventh oldest player active in 2024.
Oh boy. Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton is correct. He was the fourth oldest player in 2024.
Okay. David Robertson.
David Robertson was the eighth oldest player active in 2024. He was born April 9th, 1985. Justin Turner in seventh was November 23rd, 1984. So you got 3 answers, and that kicks it over to We Love Marcus's Sounds for any rebounds.
I got to go back to that list that we wrote down
That's
earlier.
just a great name there, David Robertson. Well, Clayton Kershaw.
Okay, so what are the
should be
names?
on
So
here.
what names did they say? So they said Verlander.
I said Verlander, Morton, and Turner. We're all on our list. We have Kershaw and Mad Max on our list that they haven't said, which I think they're both on there.
Yeah.
But let's go. We're gonna check in with Clayton Kershaw.
Hold on. Sorry.
I don't
Clayton
think
Kershaw is incorrect. Clayton Kershaw, only 36 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, only.
Shoot, he's relatively young. The 4 that were missed, born July 27th, 1984, was Max Scherzer. Born June 9th, 1984, Yuli Gurriel. Born August 21st, 1983, Jesse Chavez.
Oh, he was
For the
active.
Braves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't
And-
believe it.
Pitching a grand total of, if I remember correctly, let me pull it up so I can be accurate. Pitching a grand total of 3 2/3 innings for the 2024 Boston Red Sox. 44-year-old Rich Hill.
Rich Hill.
Oh,
Rich
Dick
Hill.
Mountain.
Of course.
Damn it.
Of course.
Dick Mountain himself. got-
Oh.
3 2/3
Of
innings,
course.
but that was enough. All right. After the third quarter, we have quite a close affair on our hands. We Love Marcus's Sounds has 320 points. AL Worst has 300. It is now time for the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
And I still do have a round in the Continental Classic left, but
Antarctica?
I figured I was not going to subject Jared to Asian sports trivia on his first time out. I felt like that would be mean. But so I wrote a different round, but then I messed around and accidentally wrote some geography anyway. So here we go. Question number 1 in the fourth quarter is not a geography question. That is about sports equipment. Question 2, a little bit of a geography question. That's about Major League Baseball. Question number 3, kind of a geography question. That's about the NBA. And question 4, definitely a geography question. And that is about marathons. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question number 1 in the fourth quarter, not a geography question, about sports equipment. In an effort to further prevent head injuries, what brand-named soft-shell helmet cover was approved for in-game use in the NFL for the 2024 season? The headwear shares its name with a non-NFL Big Four American sports team.
We can check in.
AL Worst has checked in. We love Marcus's sounds. Talk it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen these things, Matt, but I have not paid attention to what they're
Yeah,
called.
well, I thought they were called them like the Halos or something like that.
I mean,
A
that's
non-
not a Big Four, the Angels, but
American
they're not
sports
actually called the
team.
Halos. Pick a Big Four sports team that's not in the NFL that sounds like it would be a helmet, and that's what we're going to go with. Like, I
No,
don't
it's
think
a
they're calling them.
it's a non-NFL. Oh, a non-NFL.
That's what I'm
big-
saying.
Okay.
So it's NHL, MLB, or NBA. I don't think they're calling it a Padre helmet. So like,
I thought they were.
what makes sense?
Holy, what? How do they not know this? How do I not know this?
I know me like
I've heard this like a dozen times.
okay. I mean, it's gotta
There's
sound
something
cool,
like that.
right?
Their halos are like angels or something. Something
think
has to
it's
do with like
angels?
saving something, like saving a person, like being, you know what I mean?
Sure,
Because
which
they're
makes
trying to like
sense.
emphasize that it's like it's safe kind of a deal.
Sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. And yeah, there's no team called like the Preservers. So yeah, the Rescuers.
Shell. So the angel shell.
Oh, sure, that could be it. Let's do it. I mean, we don't know it, right? It's just going to be a shot in the dark
Yeah.
either way. So
So we're gonna check in with the angel shell, whatever it is, for 70 points.
And AL Worst, what'd you have?
Well, we purchased a bunch of these for the kids that I coach a while ago, and they're required to wear them during practice during the week. And yeah, it's called a Guardian cap. So that's what we're going to check in. Guardian cap for 75 points.
One team is getting points. Yes, these are the Guardian caps. We love Marcus's noises. You are right. You are on the right track with like when you said like, is there a team called the Protectors or the Preservers?
I thought you were going to get there.
There is one.
I
Yeah.
thought for sure
Yeah.
when he said Preservers, he was going to go,
and I'm
Guardians.
wearing a
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Guardians t-shirt. Like,
Yeah. Doesn't your brother work
Just
for the
look down.
Guardians?
He does.
Just look down.
Just look
How many
down.
points did you guys wager on that?
We just see Scott like,
Yeah, Guardians.
They had 75.
they
They had 75. All right. So after question 1 of the fourth quarter, we have a lead change. AL Worst now at 375. We love Marcus's sounds down to 250. Question 2, a little bit of a geography question in Major League Baseball. 2 MLB players far surpass any others in terms of MLB success by a Jamaican-born player. Both were outfielders, 3-time All-Stars, and 3-time World Series champions. One finished with exactly 350 home runs in a 19-year career, making All-Star games with the Giants and Angels and winning World Series with the Twins and Yankees. The other is a 7-time Gold Glover, making his All-Star games with the Angels, Blue Jays, and Diamondbacks, and winning World Series with the Blue Jays and Marlins. Name either.
Oh boy.
Okay, I think I got Taco. We're checked in.
We Love Marcus's Sounds has checked in. AL Worst, talk it out.
Okay. Let's see here.
So the Jamaican-born player, that helps me not at all. So
Okay.
I don't know if it does anything for you.
No, man. It is not Irie over here. All right.
So a 19-year career,
Yes.
Giants and Angels. Now, just making All-Star games with the Giants and Angels, so it
Right.
doesn't exclude other teams.
And one World Series with the Twins and Yankees. So the Twins would have been early 90s, and then the Yankees would have been, when did they win their first of those three, in like 96 or 97, something like that?
Something like that.
98. It's a long career. Oh gosh. All right. Twins and Yankees. See, the problem too is that, like, same with the Blue Jays, is that there's a little gap in there from when they won the World Series, with the second half.
It wouldn't be like a catcher or somebody or something that.
I mean, it could be. I know the Marlins catcher was Charles Johnson, but I don't know that do you think he was a 7-time Gold Glover?
Do you think he was Jamaican?
No. No, I do not. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Yes.
I don't think I have it. I don't even know who to guess.
Chili Davis. I have no idea. It's just like
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. That can't be right, but we'll check in with that. Chili Davis.
For 75 points.
And We Love Marcus's Sounds. What did you have?
Matt, do you want to?
Oh my gosh, guys!
Do you want to back up truck for these guys?
Randomly guess Chili Davis. Sure, yeah, Chili Davis.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't think he was Jamaican. I didn't. Well, I'm sorry.
Like literally, he's halfway through the question writing, and I messaged Scott. I said Chili Davis.
Well,
okay.
Anyway. Here's the thing, right? Like, Charles Johnson could absolutely been Jamaican, right? Because name wise, it's like the other answer, the one I'm going to give, because like variety. Also, like, by his name, you would not think he's Jamaican. But as soon as I saw one World Series with the Blue Jays and Marlins, and there was an outfielder, the 97 Marlins outfielders were Gary Sheffield. I know it's not him. Morris Salou. I know it's not him. So that leaves the starting center fielder for that squad, who is Devon White, which is who we checked in with, for 100 points.
Well, both teams are getting their points. The correct answers are Chili Davis and Devon White.
That's amazing, Jared,
yes.
with the crazy pull. Wow.
Both born in Kingston, Jamaica. Strangely parallel careers. They were teammates together on the 88, 89, and Angels, 90 right? Angels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all I could remember was like the quote that, Kirby Puckett was, saying he was going to bunt when he hit the big home run in the playoffs, and Chili Davis was the one that said, no, it's like, you knock that thing into the stands. And it's like, apart from, Kirby Puckett and Kent Herbeck, that's the only other name I even had from that Twins team. So
Jared, what he said was, you knocked that thing out of the park, man.
Club that bumbleclot ball.
Yeah. I don't think I remembered it, but like, I don't know, like a year ago I watched Meet Joe Black, and that scene with Brad Pitt doing a Jamaican accent, I was like, who allowed this? Who allowed this to happen? I have to know.
It was the 90s. It was a weird time.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to question 3 in the fourth quarter. Kind of a geography question about the NBA. The 2024 All NBA first team was an international affair, with Jason Tatum as the only American to make the list alongside Giannis, Jokic, Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But the second and third teams were dominated by Americans who took 9 of the 10 spots. Who is the only player on the 2024 All NBA second or third team who does not compete for Team USA internationally?
We're going to check in.
AL Worst has checked in. We love Marcus's sounds. Talk it out.
Who had good enough seasons to even be on those teams? And I wonder if it's Victor Wembanyama. Did he make the third team as the center? Because it's assumed. I'm thinking Joel Embiid is the second team center, and I'm wondering if Wemby made the third team because I can't think of anything else or anyone else. Matt,
Oh, I'm sorry. What else?
yeah, I know. I know. Are you fine with me going with Wemby?
Yeah, I mean, I have no clue who made those teams last year. I'm not, as famously, not a modern
Yes, I
NBA
know.
guy. So,
All right, we're going to check in with Victor Wembanyama for 100 points.
And AL Worst, what did you say?
Well, Jared and I were talking, and either I'm very, very, very smart, or I completely misinterpreted your question and just completely effed us. So, with that being said, what we were discussing is instead of somebody internationally, maybe an international player, I was thinking of the guys who were on the list, and I was like, well, maybe it's an American who didn't make Team USA, and the name that came up to me was Jalen Brunson. And so I don't know if that's the way it was supposed to be interpreted, but I hope so, because I talked Jared into checking in with Jalen Brunson for 75 points.
Okay, well, neither team is getting points.
Okay.
Yeah, the question was, Jalen Brunson was one of the 9 Americans that were on the second and third team, and would have, does compete or play for the Team USA internationally, but just didn't make that Olympic team. The question was worded as such because this player was born in the United States, but does not compete for Team USA. He competes for Team Lithuania. The correct answer is Domantas Sabonis.
Damn it. His name was in my chat to Matt.
Mhm.
Damn it.
All right. So neither team getting points there. So let's do a quick score check because things still interesting and surmountable. AL Worst has 375. We Love Marcus's Sounds has 250 as we go to the final question of the fourth quarter. Definitely a geography question in the category of marathons. The World Marathon Majors Series began in 2006 to bring further attention and prestige to some of the most high-profile marathons in the world. Unsurprisingly, Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge leads all runners with 13 victories in this series. The World Marathon Majors Series consists of 6 yearly races, all of which named for the cities in which they are run. 3 are U.S. cities, 3 are world capital cities. All 3 U.S. cities have at least one MLB, NBA, and NHL team. All 3 international cities have hosted at least one Summer Olympics. Name all 6.
Whoa. Oh, God. What?
There it is.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't
I
overthink
wish you guys
this.
could see. I wish you guys could see Jared's chat. That was amazing.
Name some cities that have some marathons that you've heard of.
We're going to check in.
AL Worst has checked in for the final time. We Love Marcus's Sounds. Talk it out.
Okay, so Scott sent over Boston and New York right away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chicago has to be on there too. That Chicago Marathon's always a big deal. Then the other 3 cities that I thought of real quick: Olympics, Capitals, and I know that they have marathons. The ones that I popped out real quick were London, Berlin, and Tokyo. And then the other ones I thought of, because it just had the Olympics for the second time, Paris. Rome's had the Olympics. Madrid hasn't. What's Barcelona had? Barcelona's not the capital of Spain. I mean, aside from that, you would go to Moscow. Doubt it. Marcus. Mexico City. No. Sao Paulo. The Olympics weren't in Sao Paulo. They were in, come on, help me out. Were they in Brazil? They weren't in Sao Paulo.
No, they weren't in Sao Paulo.
Then Sydney. But
Yeah, I don't know. Sydney Marathon. I don't know that.
China. Come on. Capital
Beijing?
China is Beijing, yeah. Since 2006, the Beijing Olympics were in 2008. Yeah. Let's just check in with the ones that we got there.
Go
Boston,
for it.
New York, Chicago, London, Berlin, Tokyo for 50 points.
Okay. And AL worst, what did you have?
Okay, so the 3 American cities that we had were New York City, Boston, and Los Angeles. And the 3 international cities, I mean, we went through a bunch of them, but the 3 that we settled on were London, Paris, and Athens
For how many points?
for 75 points.
Okay. Well, the 6 marathons in question are Boston, New York City, Chicago, London, Berlin, and Tokyo. One
Nice.
team
go.
is getting their points. Those are the 6. Very well done. We love Marcus's sounds. And the game has not come to an end because we are tied at 300.
Oh boy.
So we have a tiebreaker question, and I am a little bit glad that I had this part of it in the third quarter. So your tiebreaker question is going to be this. We're going to bring back our old friend, Dick Mountain. How many career innings pitched does Rich Hill have in his career? And it is a whole number. It's not a something and 2/3.
Oh, and 2/3.
It is a whole number. So you get that. How many innings pitched has Rich Hill pitched in his 60-year-long career?
Let's address him by his title, Big Dick Mountain.
All right, we are checked in.
Okay. We Love Marcus's Sounds has checked in. AL worst. Give me some Dick Mountain.
You gotta buy me dinner first, or at least. Well, Jared and I were both like, he's pitched for a very long time, but been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And basically it came down to one of us jumping in and throwing out a number, and Jared came in with 1250, and I said, let's make it around 1300, and he agreed. So we are checking in with 1300 innings pitched.
Okay. And We Love Marcus's Sounds. What did you have?
Yeah, we both were just kind of throwing around. He's been around for a lot, but he's been hurt. Briefly a starter. He's been a reliever. All these different variables. So we both kind of had a number. I think mine was probably high. I was thinking around 1900. Matt said 1600. We met in the middle, so we went with 1750.
All right. So we've got guesses of 1750 versus 1300. I can tell you that in 20 major league seasons, Rich Hill, aka Big Dick Mountain, has pitched 1,409 innings. So that means the win will go to AL worst on the tiebreaker. Very nicely done.
Nice.
A valiant effort from We Love Marcus's Sounds, but the clipboard captains receiving the coveted JT O'Sullivan Award, AL worst. Jared, thank you so much again for playing. I hope you had a good time. Is there anything else you'd like to say or shout out or plug on the way out?
I just want to say, one, this was a total blast. This was awesome. But in real time and in recording time, I still get to enjoy the Rangers being the reigning champs for about another week or so. So I'm going to hold on to that like grim death. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, thanks, Jared. Marcus, Scott, Matt, any last things to say before we get out of here?
Canuck if you
Happy
buck.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, Canuck if you buck.
Do us a favor, listeners. Turn on Nuck If You Buck at your Thanksgiving table, just to see what happens. All right, for Marcus, Scott, Matt, and Jared, I've been Taco. This has been the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, and until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes! Yeah!
Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at BenchwarmersTP.